right, congratulations. You've now reached the last mission on the last level of Energize. Let's get started by reviewing our key point. Energy exists all around us in many forms. Energy can never be created or destroyed. It is transferred from form to form and can move from one object to another. Heat energy moves from one object to another through conduction, convection, or radiation. Electrical energy is constantly moving. An electric current flows through parallel and series circuits quickly and invisibly from one place to another using conductors and insulators to produce electricity. Mission 2 is on heat transfer. We want to explain how heat is transferred from one object to another through conduction, convection, or radiation. We only have one challenge question, and that is, how are conduction, convection, and radiation different from each other? Let's first remember that heat is different from temperature. Temperature is the measurement of how fast atoms are moving in an object and how many atoms are moving in that object. And heat is the transfer of temperature from one object, from a warm object to a cool object. And it does that in three different ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is the transfer of heat through touching. So anytime you touch something, anytime you touch something and heat is transferred to you, that is conduction. It usually occurs between solid objects, from a hotter object to a colder object. An example would be a metal rod heating up from a flame. Convection is the transfer of heat through the movement of particles, usually in the air or in water, liquids and gases. Warm particles rise, and cool particles would then fill the space below. The picture shows how the water is rising and the cool water is sinking underneath where that warm water is rising to. It's a circular motion. An example would be boiling a water in a pot on the stove. That is convection. Radiation is a transfer of energy through invisible waves. These waves travel through matter or through empty space. So they can travel through things or they just travel through the air. An example would be heat from the sun or from fire. There you see the picture. The fire is warming the hands through waves. Obviously that person wouldn't want to touch it because that would burn them. So they're getting that heat just through the air, through radiation. This was a quick lesson. I want you to now look at these different examples. Write them down on a piece of paper. Number one, do you think a huge rock at the state park gets so hot during the day that you can't sit on it from what kind of heat transfer is that? Conduction, convection, or radiation? Why? Let me ask this. Why is that so hot? How did it get hot? Did it get hot through touching, through the air, or through waves from the sun? A fireman feels a door, and it's hot from the fire on the other side due to what? Conduction, convection, or radiation? A heater is placed under one corner of a waterbed mattress. Warm water moves throughout the mattress because of conduction, convection, or radiation. You sit next to a campfire and begin to feel warmer. This happens because of conduction, convection, or radiation. My spoon is hot after leaving it on the pot that was on the stove. This happens because of conduction, convection, or radiation. You need to answer those 5 questions. I will be checking them as part of your packet to get the level up quiz when it is time to get there. Be sure to watch the videos that follow this, as they will give examples that you can see that might better illustrate the difference between conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's review level 4 really quickly. Temperature is the measurement of amount of movement of matter. So we're measuring the amount of matter that is moving and the amount of matter that is in an object. Thermometers are used to measure temperature. Heat is a transfer of thermal energy between matter of different temperatures, from hot to cold. And there are 3 different types of heat transfers: conduction, convection, and radiation. If you pass this level, you will then be able to try to get out of this quest. I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, please let me know.